Hi, I'm Ann Burgy. I was born into a Roman Catholic family in Philadelphia. My parents weren't practicing Catholics, but pressure was exerted from their families, so I was placed in Catholic school, which is where my spiritual journey began. Daily religious instruction was instrumental, but it was the first time I attended a church service that had the biggest impact at that time. You see, I had really severe astigmatism. So, without glasses, I experienced memorable light shows with candle and electric light shooting all over the place. The instruction did take root, however, and I developed a relationship with God. I spent a lot of time in prayer, and in fourth grade, there were two interesting developments. I felt a call to the ordained priesthood, and I felt driven to visit the lonely widows on my block. I was gifted with their stories, which I enjoyed, especially from those who had come from other countries. They all had been born in the 19th century and needed someone to hear their stories. There were other similar opportunities over the years. 10th through 12th grades, I was a candy striper, and I spent as much time as I could sitting with patients, listening to what they needed to say. I continued to go to church throughout college. My second year there, I got what I realized only many years later as a call. Happy was in one of my classes. She had been a Catholic nun and had left the order because she felt it was not conducive to her calling. She visited the poor, the blind, the lame, the sick, and the marginalized, and she invited me to accompany her on her visits, which I did for a summer. She and this experience had a big part in my spiritual growth. I developed insights. Love of God could lead to service, and I was meant to do something. I still felt that call to the priesthood, but I didn't know what to do with it. I was a faithful Catholic until my mid-20s when my father died. He died without last rites because both our parish and the Catholic Church near the hospital refused to send a priest out. And then we had to push to get him buried in a Catholic cemetery. I stopped going to church, but I kept up with my daily prayers. I could separate the concepts of religious institution and spirituality. Rich and I started dating about a year later. When we started getting serious, we looked for a church where we could be comfortable. Rich was a lifelong Episcopalian. He was the first person I could discuss spiritual matters with, and a new phase of my spiritual development began with him. We started attending St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Northeast Philadelphia, across the street from my apartment complex. From the beginning, I was amazed at the sense of family and Christian community. It was a tremendous revelation. I was received into the Episcopal Church early in 1981, shortly before we were engaged, and we were married there in June of 1981. I was thrilled to get involved in lay ministry. I accompanied the rector on Eucharistic visits and eventually did some by myself. After Pam was born in 1982, I had to suspend lay ministry for a long time due to the demands of a child and a full-time job. When she was 3, my job moved to Reading, so we did too, and we attended St. Albans Episcopal Church in Wyomissing. The fall of 1988, we moved to Pottstown because we both had job changes. We had noticed St. Gabriel's on our many previous trips on Route 422, so in October of that year, we visited St. Gabriel's. Again, we felt the sense of family and Christian community. There were many influences in my life, guiding me on my spiritual path, but St. Gabriel's has been the most supportive. For me, it has been a haven, a well, and a launching pad. The Holy Spirit truly resolves here and in the hearts of many who have provided guidance over the years. We have been blessed with gifted pastors here, as well as many laypersons who have given of their time and talents in helping create an atmosphere of discernment and development of our gifts. And the opportunity for spiritual growth through service has been enriching. Helping people discern and develop their spiritual gifts seems to be our mission here. And I have been privileged to have been shepherded by some wonderful people. The sermons have been educational, motivating, and inspiring. Who can forget Father Cal with all his suitcases? I've participated in many lay ministries here, and in turn was guided toward the discernment and the development of my gifts. I feel it could only have happened here. St. Gabriel's is a transformative place. Through EFM, I discerned that my call was to chaplaincy. Upon reflection of my early experiences, it felt like I had come full circle. I have done volunteer chaplaincy work at a hospital and a nursing home, but COVID interrupted that. I assisted services here, and since I retired, at the Villa. Being able to assist in worship services and occasionally to lead them, I feel that my early discernment has been completely fulfilled. We are all endowed with gifts to use in God's kingdom. We are fulfilled in using those gifts. I am thankful for having a part in the life of this church and for the family that I am part of here.